What's going on, guys? Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, let's review this fatecore Degas, Beach by the Blue Sea Degas, thanks to this Summerfest event, and we are going to get the first fatecore ever of the Degas, and he looks pretty cool and pretty awesome, a husband to type unit indeed. Let's see if his skills is actually going to make him even better, because he's already a S tier unit, whether it be the PvP or PvE con or whatever that is. Okay, he's so good indeed, and let's see if his fatecore is just gonna push him to his limits. Okay, is he going to go into the Bankai mode? Okay, fatecore chance of Beach by the Blue Sea Degas. Okay, so right over here, his period is gonna be from July 22nd Wednesday till July 29th Wednesday for 1 week. Yeah, that is, he's going to replace the fatecore Scarlet, and he's going to come up there with the premium red banner, and main hero is gonna be that you can recruit hero plus fatecore with higher probability than the premium recruitment. He's a like a black fatecore, so that means he's definitely going to have 0.7% chance to get dropped. Okay, so there we go, that's pretty much the default stuff. Attack is going to be 49 points, not really superb, but defense 127 points, that's a lot. Now it is actually pretty good. You can kind of like share his fatecore with other defensive hero units, like let's say Ulum or maybe Garf, if you really want to make them better. Okay, so that can be quite possible, or maybe even Cherry. HP is going to be 389, that's pretty awesome, and CP is going to be boosted by 16,200 points. Not bad, not too shabby. Okay, so there we go. Skill information. Now let's talk about its skills. Is it actually going to be much better? Well, the passive is going to be block 2. It's pretty much like the same as that of before. Okay, not really that changed, but he has two new effects that has been added. That's going to be the ice shower and the summer's blessing. Okay, so there we go. Well, as per the previous effect, he's definitely going to provoke the opponents. All right, there we go, and that's gonna be really helpful, especially in the PvP content as well, to pretty much disrupt the momentum of the opponent, especially if they are not immune to status effects. Then that can be really problematic to the opponent. Okay, and that can be really helpful to you guys to actually gain upper hand against the opponents. All right, and that's the provoke for you guys. The best user of the provoke right now is definitely going to be Ulum or Fatecore Ulum. Dragon Knight Blessing, it's pretty much as that of the before as well. Increases the damage dealt to dragons with the dragon skill of order activated by 250%. Definitely a useful skill setup, especially for the Holy Dragon Grounds. All right. And the next thing is going to be the ice shower. Okay, so right over here, if the caster has a removable buff, recovery, special effect applied, each valid attack imbues frosty bolt on targets for 3 turns. So you might be asking, what is this frosty bolt? It's pretty much like a stun that pretty much incapacitates the opponent to do anything at all. So it's pretty much like a stun, or let's say a shock, or whatever that is. Okay, so that is it. Summer's blessing, special effect, when the battle starts, grants frost damage immunity 1 time to all allies, can't be stacked, and buff is that increases target's attack by 50% for 9 turns when the frost damage immunity effect is removed. Meaning, like, upon getting hit by a frost attack, or let's say being damaged by a hero unit that is a frost element affinity, like let's say Bathory or let's say Anastasia, in that case you are going to be immune to the first incoming damage, and later on you are also going to get that buff right after the removal of that frost damage immunity. You are going to get an attack boost of 50% for freaking 9 turns. That's so amazing indeed, if you really have to ask me. It's pretty awesome, really, really awesome, guys. And looking into him, he's pretty much already a very good defensive unit, and on top of that one, getting a defensive effect like this is definitely a really good addition. But the problem is that, like, it's pretty conditional. Okay, in the current situation in the PvP, definitely, because so many people are using Fatecore Anastasia plus Fatecore Bathory, in that case definitely it's out there to counter them. Okay, especially to like save yourself from their AoE attack for once, and that's all there's to it, if you have to ask me. And getting that 50% boost to the target's attack by the passive buff. It's a passive buff, all right? You also need to understand that one. Active buff is different and a passive buff is different, and it's a passive buff, and that is really cool. 50% attack boost is one of the highest in the entire game, which is actually can be provided by the Raquel as well. And if you can stack them both, it's gonna be quite amazing. That's gonna be really cool. So far, fatecore Scarlet is the one who is also having the same kind of like effect. That's gonna be the summer blessing, and let's see if it's actually going to give us a really good head start. Okay, so right over there, guys. It's definitely a cool stuff to add into the fate core of Degas, but I would not say that like it's going to improve his effectivity by a huge amount. But definitely a thing to have around. If you really are making the Degas as your core unit, okay, and let's say your main PvP core team is Degas, then definitely it's going to be a essential thing to have this fate core in your team. Okay, I think it's going to be quite important if you have to really ask me. There we go. Anyways, Blue Aegis of Faith. Okay, it says active skill number 1, and required mana is 3. Okay, that's pretty expensive indeed. Effect is going to be that self increases own maximum health by 38% for 8 turns. Wow, that is a lot of, like HP boost right over there, guys. I mean, like 38%. Wow, I mean, like, I like that. It's kind of actually improved from his base percentage. That's going to be 32%, but now it's 38%. So definitely that's a good upgrade if you have to ask me. And the next thing is going to be all share health with all allies for 16 turns. Wow, I mean, like, that is cool. 16 turn, that's pretty much the default as well, and share health is going to be quite helpful as well if you are pretty much trying to stack up on those dragon bloods really fast. Okay, and that can be really, really helpful as well. I mean, like, he's sharing health with everyone, not with the particular ally with the lowest health. It's like everyone. Okay, so as long as any kind of like opponent is gonna be hit, he's actually I mean, like, any ally is gonna be hit, he's pretty much going to stack up on those dragon blood stacks really, really fast, and that's gonna be really helpful. The only downside is that he's gonna require 3 mana, and it will be a little bit hard for him to like improve his mana count, because his passive effect is definitely not going to be really that helpful to gain extra mana on top. And the next thing is that it is quite problematic for him because he's a defensive type unit, meaning like he has to be attacked, he has to be hit in order to gain more mana. Okay, and that is also like one degrading side right over there. So 3 mana cost can be quite heavy for him, but if you actually manage to get those 3 mana, definitely it's a skill that you would really love to spam. How about his second active skill? Required mana is 5 mana. Okay, forget it. First thing. Okay, it's way too costly, and I really don't think it's actually a burst effect as well. And right away it says Cursed Blue Trident. That's the name of this skill. All, meaning it's an area damage, deals 178% damage to all enemies. Like, ah, man, it really does lack a lot of damage, even though it has been quite improved, because like originally he deals 142% damage to all enemies, right? But now he's going to deal 100 and how much, 78% damage to all enemies. So that's a really good boost right over there, but not really that good enough to actually kill the opponents. If you really cannot kill the opponents with your AoE damage, you better not use it, especially in the PvP contents. Okay, in the PvE contents, okay, you can use it, you can spam it, it's really up to you. I mean, like, it has a status effect as well that afflicts the target with the freeze effect for 5 turn. Freeze is pretty much like, like the same thing like stun or shock. Like, it pretty much incapacitates the opponent and they will not be able to use their turn. That's it. But the main thing is that, like, it's not a burst damage, and even if it was a burst damage, it would not actually hold that really good potential to really wrap up the battle. Okay, or let's say at least land a really good kill right over there, like fatecore Annie or fatecore Bathory. Not really possible in it. So in the PvP content, you better not use this Cursed Blue Trident. It's really, 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 really not useful indeed. It's definitely just going to trigger a lot of rat damage coming towards you, and that's gonna really shorten your battle or shorten your life. Okay, and you wouldn't really don't want to have that. So best thing that you are going to really depend on him is definitely going to be his capability to provoke. His Dragon Knight Blessing, that's pretty much improving the damage against the dragon, or let's say the Holy Dragon Ground, by 250%. Ice Shower is going to pretty much apply that Frosty Bolt on targets for 3 turns if he has that buff on him. But the thing is that, like, just think about it. He already has that status effect of freeze on the opponent, okay? And that is that. And on top of that one, he's getting this passive effect as well. All right. I mean, like, it has a little bit of advantage in the sense that it's a passive type of effect, meaning like it pretty much like bypass the immunity, if I'm not wrong. Okay, it can bypass the immunity. All right, so meaning like that 3 turns of Frostbolt can pretty much bypass immunity and really shock the opponent. Okay, and opponent will pretty much will not be able to do anything. That's that. And Summer Blessing is quite helpful for him to provide extra defense, like protection for the team, and quite helpful indeed. And having that 50% attack boosted is definitely going to be quite awesome as well. So that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And let's look into this one, guys. Precautions. Beach by the blue Sea Degas is black rated fatecore. The probability of recruit beach by the blue Sea Degas is 0.7% and fatecore chance up. That's what I said to you guys a while ago. Earn 1 recruitment mileage when you recruiting heroes 11 times. In order to achieve a definite recruit, you must acquire 19 core mileages. So 19 summons is pretty much the PT summon right over there, which is, I think, is fair. You can check the acquired items in your airship fatecore you earn. Core mileage are initialized at the end of the chance of event. Now, if you are asking me, should you be really pulling this hero unit? I would say, like, if Degas is your main, let's say your core unit, or let's say the core tank of your team, then definitely, please go for him, okay? Having this extra effect is definitely a helpful stuff, okay? And that's pretty much going to improve his utility as well. But if Degas is not your core team member, and let's say instead of him you are using, like, let's say fatecore Loom, or let's say Garf, then in that case you can pretty much totally skip him as well. It's really up to you if you really want to save cess. But if you are well, then definitely go for him. Like, why not? I'm like, it would be really good collection in your team as well, especially for like PvP tag matches. He's definitely going to be helpful for you guys. It's always better to have him, okay? So it's never really bad to get this fatecore, but in case this hero, like so many players out there really use Degas as their main tank in their team, if that's the situation that applies to you as well, then in that case definitely get this fatecore. But if it's not your main core tank, then in that case you can pretty much skip this banner as well. It's really up to you. Anyways, this is pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.